Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host Elio, and we are here with Stephen from the band. I hope I pronounced this right. Sagen.
Close. It's with a Sagen.
All right, Sagen. Right. So, Stephen, could you introduce yourself and what you do within the band?
So I'm Stephen Hegarty. I mainly play guitar, but I write all the music, the drums, and the bass guitar. Record them. Um, that's basically. I also do most of the artwork. Like the album art is something I made, and yeah, that's my end of it.
Cool, cool. Yeah, so let's dive into some questions. As a kid, what were you listening to?
Oh man. As a kid, I grew up in a pretty religious Christian family. Um, so I listened to a lot of that uh, contemporary Christian, but there was a lot of rock and rap groups that we were listening to. And then around middle school, I got into classic rock, and then um, picked up guitar, learned how to play guitar to stuff like that. And then started listening to new metal. My friend introduced me to it around the same time in middle school. So bands like Linkin Park and Slipknot. But I got into metal through Metallica. I don't remember if it was Rock Band or Guitar Hero, but they had Ride the Lightning, and I think One was on it as well. And I heard that, and that was like Metallica. So as a kid, it was pretty much that up until Metallica was kind of the last part of my childhood, maybe.
Cool, cool, cool. Who actually got you into sort of like music? Was it a family member, like your parents or your siblings, or was it like a journey of self-discovery?
I grew up watching my dad play guitar and sing and play piano. So he actually got my first guitar, and that was really exciting. It was a Washburn X Series guitar. I got that. I started learning everything I could that I was into, like Led Zeppelin and Metallica and Judas Priest, stuff like that. But it's definitely my dad.
Cool, cool. So, you've mentioned that you sort of like got into Metallica, playing video games such as like Guitar Hero. Uh, were they a major influence on you to say, you know what, I can actually do this. I want to pick up the guitar and actually start playing, or was it somebody else?
Um, I think the first big band that I wanted to learn guitar to was actually Striper. I learned a lot of them. I gravitated directly to soloing, so I was learning a lot of them. But then definitely Metallica. I mean, I was learning every Metallica song that I could. Um, and then after them was definitely Lamb of God. Those were my big guitar influences early on, aside from some classic rock bands and stuff.
Yeah, cool, cool. So, were you in any bands prior to Sagen?
Um, so I had a band with my neighbor. Um, that was a thrash band, very similar to Metallica. We were big into thrash in high school and stuff, and um, probably had 20 names for that band. But the final one, the one we stuck with, it was called Anzel, Anzel. But then I went to college and tried to start my own thing. I was just doing a bunch of Lamb of God covers, and I moved back and I joined a band that the vocalist from that first band, he had started, but then he moved, so I kind of just slotted right in. That band was called Tortured Monkeys, and then I started Sagen. But back then we were called Riparian, and it was kind of like I had a lot of ideas that I wanted to get out and make these riffs and songs that I liked and just get it out on the internet. And since then, I jammed with a couple of guys, but never any other band so far.
Cool. So, what has the band been up to, especially over, say, the last year or so?
So the last year was really a big transition. We went from a gigging band with 5 members. Certain things just got in the way of gigging, especially for me. And I decided to kind of go back to that, just a creative outlet, put music online. And I hit up Adam. He did vocals for us on our second album because we couldn't really find a steady vocalist at the time. And I was like, hey man, we're not going to gig or anything, but would you want to do vocals for Sagen? And he said, yeah, he's excited. That'd be awesome. So what we've been doing is we've been working on the 4th album called Whalefall. We've been working on getting it completely done. Starting the PR campaign. We just released our first single from that album last week, actually, on Friday. And basically just planning that release. We signed with a label, Soda Records, and a sub affiliate record label, Metal Incorporated Records. It's a sub label underneath Soda Records. So we signed with them, and we've been all working together to make sure we get a good, rollout for all the new music and get people, get their attention. Maybe they'll like some singles and check out the album.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So you mentioned you released the new single Revelations last week. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So each album that we've written, they're all concept albums. So they have a storyline, but they're all actually even more of a concept. They're all connected in one big storyline. So in this one, there's kind of this civil war conflict between this alien race that's on Earth, and they're having this big argument. And Revelations is from the point of view of one of their main scientists kind of people. They figure out that they can use humans in this sacrifice ritual that kind of gives them, in a sense, immortality. It boosts everything, that their quality of life is just amazing. So the song is about her struggling to kind of reconcile sacrificing this entire species to, do we really deserve to live forever at the expense of this? Because they've never encountered another sentient kind of race that's similar to their own people. So she's struggling with that, and she's kind of just going, it's all in her head, kind of should we be doing this?
Yeah. So you said that the album Whalefall is more of a concept. It's a concept album. Could you tell us a little bit about that, if you can?
Yeah. So it's all about that kind of war that's going on. They've come to Earth. They actually came to Earth way back in time, and they initially came here to plant a seed to try to replenish the population of this species that they've been using for the sacrifices. And in our storyline, whales are from their homeworld, and they needed to come to Earth because of the abundance of the water in the oceans and everything. They wanted to spark their population back up. And so the two sides, everybody's kind of picking sides, and then humans are thrown in the mix, trying to figure out what's going to happen. Are we able to do these rituals anyways? What could we use? And there's a lot of questions that come up that are attempted to be answered. And the next album will connect everything a lot more throughout the entire run of albums, but this one's really, it's all about that war.
Cool. When is Willful going to be released? Is it already being released, or is it due to be released?
Yeah, so we have a tentative date around February, but we're still working on that to make it a concrete date. It might be in March, but it's going to be either February or March. We just have to see how the campaign is going with the singles we release and everything like that. But it should be one of those 2 months next year.
Are you releasing any more singles from the album prior to the album release?
Yep, we should be. I believe the plan is 4 singles, possibly 5. It depends on a few things. But we're excited to get these singles out. There should be at least 4.
Cool. Excuse me. Is there any? Are you sort of like in the process of writing new material, or are you just focusing on the promo for the new album?
So we are still writing. I still have to finish the final song. I gotta finish that. Drums still need to be finalized for a few. Vocals are still in the works for a few. And in the meantime, as we're working on that, we're trying to get some good content that people enjoy. We for this first single, we released a short riff video, and then we released a vocal snippet, both of us performing our respective parts. And we're both pretty happy with the promotional material so far. So it's kind of like we're balancing both, but we have time in between each single to kind of work on the songs that aren't being released as singles. So
is there going to be any sort of like tours to promote the album, or is that sort of like on the back burner, so to speak?
I'm sorry?
Is there going to be any sort of like tours or shows to promote the album?
Oh, like a live show?
Yeah.
We don't have plans for that. We've been kind of wondering if we should do maybe like a live stream of sorts, because it's just me playing guitar and then Adam doing vocals. So it's tough to kind of get booked for shows and having time to finish the writing and then also go out and play. It'd be a bit much, but a live stream could be a cool option.
Yeah. I know there's quite a few bands that do live streams, especially over on Kick. Similar to Kick, sort of like similar to YouTube, but so yeah, a live stream would be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I know Matt from Trivium. He does a lot of streaming on Twitch. I think that might be his main source of income.
Yeah.
It's always cool popping in there and seeing the live show, but that could be really cool to do.
So, is there going to be any sort of like merchandise to go with the new album?
Yeah, so we have the plan is to release a specific shirt for each single. We released one for Revelations, and we'll have also, we already have some merch online right now. Different shirts, hoodies, tank tops with the album design. We also have, you can get a canvas print that has the album cover, stuff like that. We're still looking into like stickers and pins and maybe hats. I know people like hats, but there's, you can find that on our Teespring. Teespring. I'm not sure what they call themselves anymore, but we have a store with some shirts, and then there's also, we have shirts for the previous albums.
Cool. Is there plans or at least a discussion of putting Whalefall on the vinyl?
On the
putting like the new album on the final record.
I'm a little confused. Sorry.
Yeah, final records. Are you going to? Is there any plans on putting Whalefall onto final album on a vinyl?
Oh, sorry. On vinyls,
Yeah.
we're having a little bit of a struggle trying to find a good way to make the vinyls available. Just because I think the site that we make our CDs through, they have a limit of time for how they produce the vinyl. So if the run length is too long, like, you can't do it. But I've been trying to find something. I think it would be really cool to offer vinyls. I know a lot of people collect them. We will be having physical CDs available, but there has been discussion on vinyls. We're just not completely sure, like, how many people would want our vinyl.
Yeah, true. It does all depend on the demand for vinyl.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. So, where can people find you on social media?
So we're mainly on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Those are our main platforms. Usually we'll post the promo material for the whatever single we're about to release. We'll post on there. So Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Cool. So where can you said you got a merch store? Could you tell us a little bit about that so people can go and find your merch?
Yeah. So if people want to find the merch store, they can. We have a website through Soda on their main website. If you go to the drop down menu, you can go to the Metal Ink bands, and you'll find us. We have a page, and everything has a link. We have a Linktree, but they don't want us really using that as much as the website, just for certain reasons. But you can find, if you can't find it on the website, you can find it at our Linktree, which is in our bio on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. But we're trying to get more people to go to the website.
Cool. Cool. Have you got a YouTube channel so people can watch your videos, or is it just purely Facebook and Instagram and TikTok that you use?
Yeah, we do have a YouTube channel. It has all of our previous albums, plus it'll have the new singles and stuff like that. We also have a Bandcamp. If you want to stream, we'd love you to stream on Spotify though, and any streaming app like that. It just helps us out a lot. But you purchase the CDs through Bandcamp, and that's just, we should pop up if you type in Sagen on Bandcamp, but you might have to type in Sagen Metal, or it's tricky because Sagen is a word in German, so we're not exactly the first thing that pops up sometimes.
I have put your Facebook and Instagram in the description below. So, guys, if you want to check out Sagen, please do. They are absolutely brilliant band. Because I have been listening to some of their stuff over on Spotify, especially today. So they are absolutely a brilliant band. So go check them out, guys. So so this is going to be my last question before we start wrapping things up. Any advice for people who want to become a musician?
That's a good one. First, I'd like to thank you for your kind words about Sagen. We put a lot of effort and work into it, so it's nice to hear appreciation for it. But to answer your question, my advice to anyone who wants to be a musician: YouTube, and if it's specifically guitar, look up tabs, learn that way. For me, that's how I did it though. I think my preference was just learning songs, not so much learning the theory and scales and stuff like that. I didn't really have interest in that. I just wanted to play along to the music that I like listening to. So I think, I definitely think that if you want to be a musician, just learn from your favorite bands, learn their music. If you learn Metallica, if you learn Lamb of God, Pantera, if you learn enough, then it kind of mixes, and when your influences mix together, then you get your own unique sound a lot of the times. So I think I would say, don't try to sound like the band you want, the band that you like. Try to sound like you.
Yeah, sound advice. Yeah, brilliant advice, that. Yeah. So, Stephen, thank you so much for coming on and doing this little interview. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, guys. So, go check out Sagen. The links are down in the description. They're absolutely brilliant. And check them out, guys. Any final words before we sign off there, Stephen?
I guess I hope people check out the album and listen to it, stream it, maybe check out the merch. I think the designs are really cool, and I think the music is I think it'll be impactful. I think people will like it. So I hope you check us out.
Yeah. Guys, please do. They're an amazing band. So, yeah. So, guys, until next time, we'll catch you all later.
See ya.